Have you spent years of your life trying all the makeup trends, constantly changing your hair, spending all this money that we don't have on baddie clothes, sexy clothes, fashion nova, just to end up looking like a child playing dress up in her mother's closet? If so, you might be a cutie patootie and you may be entitled to compensation. But no, seriously, a lot of us have been struggling with this and didn't even have the words to really summarize what the problem or the issue really was. And then when the cutie patootie versus baddie conversation popped up on TikTok, it felt like, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Doom, doom, doom. That's what it felt like. I felt vindicated. Y'all don't know what it's like to be me. Round face, soft, supple cheeks, cute little almond eyes, fluffy brows. In a time where the thin 90s brow is in, it's hard. It's difficult, actually. But looking back, it's like, how was it not obvious? Girl, your face is hella round, okay? You got doe eyes, you got round cheeks, okay? You got a smile that would even make a chipmunk go, oh. You're not ugly. You were a cutie patootie the whole time. Like, duh. And that is the reason why the baddie aesthetic didn't work on you. Now, if you're still not completely sure which one you are and why the hell you should even care, then stick around and I'm gonna help you figure that out, okay? Early 2000s teen magazine quiz style, you know? And then we can dig a little deeper, okay? Now let's get into it. Now, what even is a cutie patootie? The cutie patooties of the world are the girls whose energies just, they give like cinnamon buns, you know? Bunny rabbit. They give sunshine and rainbows and, a picnic on a warm day. You may have big round eyes, soft cheeks, maybe a button nose, a face that looks like it belongs in a Pixar movie, okay? You've probably been called cute or adorable more times than you would like, okay?
Okay, so this cutie patootie conversation is, I just love it, okay? Because I have for years tried to explain this cutie patootie cute concept to my family members, and to the point that it's become a running joke in the household. Most common compliment that I get is cute. You're so cute. You're so cute. You're so cute. And I won't say that it's growing on me, but I will say I'm learning to accept it because I can't escape it. It doesn't matter what I put on, no matter how much makeup I put on. It's giving cute. It's not giving sexy. It's giving cute. And I think I used to internally be offended because I felt like cute is for puppies. Cute is for babies and small children. Like, and I kid you not, it doesn't matter where I go. People stop me and the compliment that comes out of their mouth is, you're so cute. Like, you're just so cute. And I don't care if it's a man. I don't care if it's a older woman.
You have a resting face that looks like you're constantly about to ask your mom if you can go to a sleepover, you know? Yeah. And when you try to pull off harsher makeup looks or aesthetics, sometimes it can come off as inauthentic. Like something about it will look off, but if you don't realize that you're a cutie patootie, then you won't even have the words to explain why it looks off, you know? And that's okay. That is okay. Now for the baddies, okay? Baddies are the people who wake up in the morning looking like, like they already got a little contour, a little shadow. The lash just looks. Are those extensions? No. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. Actually, they give off almost, like the cutie patootie gives like the golden retriever. The baddies give off black cat. In a way. Now, I do feel like there can be a hybrid, but we're not talking about that right now. We are talking about, the Megan Fox, You know, we are talking about the Naomi Campbell. We are talking about the ones that walk in the room and they just look like their jaw could just slice you in half, you know, just clean in half. Like if you put an apple on their chin, it'll come out in slices, you know? That's a baddie. You know, with the makeup, it can go either way. Some baddies put on too much and it's like, whoa, jump scare. Some of them, they can do like the full extra glam, bing, bop, pow, wow, wow. And it's like, whoa, wow. You know, it's a mixed bag. But for the most part, they just kind of have this aura about them that's like, ooh, ow, wow, how, cow, show. Like they don't like walk into the room. They're like, they like saunter into the room. They're like, have you ever seen those videos of those people that are like skating on the roller skates, but they're like really good, and they be like, I saw you walking down on Melrose. That's like how baddies look, you know? If you're still confused, I got you, right? So I came up with a test. I don't know about y'all, but I was a big fan of like J14, like Teeny Bopper magazines. And I was like, why don't I come up with my own quiz, right? And so I have 5 questions. And by the end of this quiz, you should know if you are a baddie, a cutie patootie, or maybe a hybrid. You know, let's get into it. Question number 1. What Destiny's Child member are you most compared to? A. Michelle, B. Beyonce, or C. Kelly? Question number 2. Your go-to selfie face is A. a head tilt, a soft smile, and maybe a peace sign. B. chin down, eyes up, full pout. It's giving Naomi Campbell. Or C. something quirky and cutesy, but somehow still comes out looking kinda decent. Question 3. Your favorite doll growing up was A. a Cabbage Patch doll, B. a Bratz doll, or C. a Barbie? Question number 4. When you tried to do the clean girl aesthetic, you looked like A. a JCPenney ad for back to school, B. it was giving Hailey Bieber realness, C. you never intentionally tried to give clean girl aesthetic, but somehow still get accused of it. You know, that's just your natural swag. Last but certainly not least, question number 5. Your childhood nickname would most likely be A. Muffin, Pooh Bear, or Bubbles, B. Princess, Diva, or Beyonce. There was always one Beyonce in the family. Or C. It was just an inside joke that only you and your family/friends understand. Now that we're done with that, I want you to tally up. If you have mostly A, then you're probably a cutie patootie. If you have mostly B, then you're probably a baddie. And if you're mostly C, then you probably fall somewhere in between. You know, you're a hybrid, and that's okay. You're good on gas.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that?
I make myself laugh. Now, this is where things get a little spicy, okay?
What the Oh shit.
The people on TikTok, and by people I mean men, have been having conversations about the cutie patootie versus baddie conversation because, of course, they had to insert themselves. And apparently, they get treated differently.
So there's this guy on TikTok who's responding to the viral trend of cutie patooties versus the baddies. This man goes on about how men pedestalize baddies and they salivate and daydream about them. They want to serve them and pay all their bills. And then the cutie patootie is the one they marry and neglect. You know, they'll pay her bills, they want to keep her long term, but only if he benefits. So are you cooking, cleaning, and having his kids? Where a baddie, she don't have to lift a finger and she's getting literally the same benefits. without having to stretch her womb and etc., etc. And I just think that this is no different than a basketball team roster where men have a variety of people on the team with different skill sets, but they're all on the same team. It's the same thing. So women, we didn't ask the 2 cents of men, but it's pretty good to hear from a man's perspective and confirm what we've known all along. Men would pretty much hook up with anything in close proximity.
You know, apparently the cutie patootie is the one that you treat nicely, you build your life with, the one that you think about every time you contribute to your 401k, you know? And the baddie is the one that you long for. Like you marry the cutie patootie, but when you lay your head to sleep at night, you think about the baddie. But for some reason, even though you think so much about her, you would never marry her. You know, you would never wife her. She's not wifey material, apparently, according to the males. I don't know if this is true, ladies. I don't know. But what I do know is that, I mean, objectively, I do feel like the cutie patootie versus the baddie, they do get different treatment. I feel like if you're a cutie patootie, then more than likely you kind of pull a bit more youthful, if that makes sense. And therefore people may feel like they can son you or daughter you. They can treat you like a little kid, like you're not grown. Or if you try to kind of like step out into your adultness, maybe your family or friends are like, whoa there, Sally. Okay, slow down. You're getting too big for your britches, you know? They want you to kind of stay in this little baby adolescent energy. I also feel like when it does come to like dating or just going out into society, you are kind of viewed as more, I don't want to say innocent, but it's giving like, aw, like, aw. Whereas when you see someone like a baddie, like a Lori Harvey, you know, walk into the room, they feel like they need to sit up. Oh my God, a perfect example of this would be Clark and Olandria from Love Island. Now, Clark, I think she could pull off the baddie aesthetic, don't get me wrong. But her cutie patootiness is also in her energy. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Olandria, to me, she really gives cutie patootie. Like, she's just like, but her energy reads baddie down. Baddie down. Okay? Because of that, right? You know, they pull different things. Like, you know, what's his name said, Clark gives him that kid feeling.
You know, you get that kid feeling and it's just like,
How old are you?
25.
Oh.
I can't be a kid. I can't have a kid feeling.
Sure.
Well, since y'all want me making my mind right now, I think Clark.
And he feels like with Olandria, he would have to be on his P's and Q's. I feel like that really kind of sums up the baddie versus cutie patootie, because Olandria really gave like grown woman, like taxes, like 401k, like mortgage, like repossession, like high yield savings accounts, Roth IRA. Like, she gives that, while Clark kind of gave like Chuck E. Cheese, Coney Island, Forever 21, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was very like cutie, but like homecoming. That's what it gave. It gave him that kid feeling. So the way that you are treated can be dependent on if you're a baddie or a cutie patootie. Just letting y'all know. Listen, I'm just relaying the information. I would be wrong if I had this and I didn't share with my friends. Y'all are my friends. I would be wrong if I didn't share with y'all. Now, cutie patooties, this is a message for y'all, for us, okay? Sometimes certain aesthetics may not work for us, okay? You may want to give baddie, mob wife, office siren, you know? You want to give like, ooh, like you want to give to them. But sometimes it may not work. It may look too harsh on your face. The clothes may be too harsh on your body. That may not be the vibe that you're giving, and that is okay. Some of us are looking in the mirror thinking that we're ugly and that we are bad at makeup, we're bad at this, we're bad at that, we can't dress, when in reality we're just not playing into our strengths. Sometimes it's not about giving baddie, sometimes it's about giving kawaii. Sometimes it's about giving coquette. Sometimes it's about leaning into the soft girl, you know, aesthetic. And that is okay. They're all equally stunning and beautiful. And when we finally accept our reality, life just gets so much easier. You realize you're not ugly. You were just a cutie patootie. And it may hurt, okay? There may be some you know, some growing pains in this process. I get it. If you have been clinging to a certain look your whole life, it may be hard to realize, you know what? I do give Trader Joe's. I do give picnic on a Sunday afternoon in June, you know? I do give Alvin and the Chipmunks. When I want to give Beyonce, I'm that girl. When I want to give Fresh Off the Runway, ooh, 6'2" model, nothing but legs, I don't give that. I don't. My torso is this long, and that's okay. It's okay. We're cutie patooties, and you know what? That's okay. And maybe one day, you know, some people are cutie patooties and they wake up and in their 30s or 40s, maybe they grow, they have a second puberty, I don't know, and they wake up and they're baddies. I think this is like an evolutionary thing, but some of us will be born cutie patooties and will die cutie patooties, and that is okay, okay? Are you a baddie or a cutie patootie? Okay, let me know in the comment section down below. And genuinely, is this something you've ever thought of? Like, have you ever struggled with like wondering why maybe certain makeup looks or aesthetics don't work on you, to only realize maybe I'm a cutie patootie? Or are you a baddie that was thinking this whole time you were a cutie patootie and weren't living up to your full potential? Like, I'm honestly genuinely curious. I want to know y'all's opinions, so comment them in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week, okay? Bye-bye.